When a person comes to a spiritual father for the first time, he should first make a general confession that embraces his entire life up to that point. When a patient comes to a hospital, he tells the doctor the history of his illness. For example, he says, "In the past I had such and such an illness from which I no longer suffer. I underwent such and such an operation under local or general anesthesia." In the same way, at a first confession, a penitent should make the effort to tell the spiritual father important details from his previous life, so as to help the spiritual father make a correct diagnosis of his spiritual illness and be able to heal it. For it often happens that a single omission something the spiritual father does not notice has serious consequences for the future spiritual health of the believer. Of course, when a person comes to a spiritual father for the first time, he has 100 sins to confess. But when he comes a second time to confession, he will have 110 sins to confess. Why? Because after the first confession, the devil attacks the penitent because he has ruined his work by confessing. A third time, a person will have to confess 150 sins, and then each subsequent time, the number of sins that the penitent needs to confess will gradually decrease, little by little, until, after a certain time, a person begins to come to confession with fewer and fewer sins to confess.